Just got home from up in Vermont and just started to unload the truck, and I wanted to give you a review. Okay, so let me show you coolers. Show you here. I don't know, dark in here. Let me see if I turn the light on. Okay, now this Coleman cooler, it's a pretty decent sized cooler. I had this thing for like, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years. We don't have no refrigerator or freezer up at the camp, because eventually maybe a propane or a solar power fridge. But right now we have nothing. That's what we have. Now, a good 6, 7 months out of the year, it's cool up there. So I put ice in there, 2 bags of ice, stick it on the front porch or something. It'll last me a week, you know, or more. I mean, it's cold up there. But in the summer months, this lasts me about 3 days. Okay, I will have ice in there for about 3 days, and then it turns to water, and then you're just fishing through all your stuff. So now it's summer. It's time to switch over to that one. I stay up there more. I bring up more stuff. I've been using this one. That's why it's out. This one right here, the little igloo. Since I've been going up there pretty much by myself with Jennifer, we don't need to bring that much, so we just bring that. 2 bags of ice, throw it in on the way, stopping at the gas station, and guess what? That thing lasts maybe a day. But it'll make it through the weekend, okay? But you're fishing your stuff out. So for Father's Day, yesterday I went up by myself, or Friday I went up by myself. I was up all Friday and Friday night. My daughter and my wife came up after work. They drove into the driveway, called me over to the car, and they said, "Happy Father's Day." But this is what they got me. Now, I was like, that's awesome, because it's not just a gift for me. It's going to be a gift for everybody, because now we can have ice and stuff to last the entire week when we go up there for the weekends, or the week when I go up there for my vacation weeks. And it's just a pain. You always got to, 2 days, 3 days, you got to drive down to the town, grab a couple bags of ice, bring the cooler, fill back up the cooler with the ice, and just monitor. You're always monitoring it, and then everything always turns into, you know, you have things, and it's just, you're fishing through the water and the cardboard boxes or whatever, so all turning nasty. You know what I mean if you use coolers. But I said, oh my God, because I just read on Cabelas or Bass Pro, they were selling their model, and you know, these things aren't cheap at all. And I'm not going to spend money for something like that. It's an investment, though, if you do a lot of camping. So I looked at the Bass Pro Shop model, and they said ice up to 10 days. I said, oh, 10 days. Definitely, it should have ice for a week, 4 days, the weekend. So when my wife brought this up to me yesterday, I opened it up, and it had 2 bags of ice in there. It looked beautiful, beautiful. So the following morning, I open it up and I see water on the bottom. About this much water. I said, are you kidding me? It's only been open like once, just when we ate supper. So it was warm. It was about in the 80s. I opened it up again Saturday night. And actually, she brought me up ice cream, because, you know, this thing's supposed to last 10 days. So definitely within 24 hours should be fine. I opened the ice cream, it looked perfectly fine. Went to take a bite, it just fell apart. I said, are you kidding me? So now we're not even 48 hours into it. This morning when I popped that open, there was no ice. Everything's floating in water. So I was taken back by that. So I'm pretty pissed. So I read all these good reviews about the YETI. So there's thousands of good reviews on this YETI cooler.
but there also is a fair amount of bad reviews, which I did not look at.
I do have a thermos, the Yeti, and it works great. But then again, I got a off the market, same type of deal, and it works fine too. I mean, the technology now is developed, and a lot of people are doing it. It's just you want to be a label whore, you're going to pay the money, and you could get the same results with a cheaper label. But this was very expensive, what I found out, and my Coleman cooler that I just showed you could do the same thing. So my review, as of right now, garbage. Hate to say that, but I already talked to my kids. I'm taking this back and getting their money back, and then we'll look at the store while we're there. Maybe we get a cheaper model. I'm not paying that much money for something that my old. I didn't know when I was making my review that because my kids got home before me in the morning, they just stuck it in the garage and didn't empty it. So, here's what we got. So yeah, it keeps ice for if you look at that, there's ice cube, 2.5 days later. That's not going to keep anything cold, everything's floating. So it's Monday, and my daughter and I are going to run this back to Bass Pro Shop. I did do some research on this. Basically, the ice could last longer, I guess, if you prep the cooler before you go on your hike or camping or whatever. You can put it in air conditioner for a little while to drop the temperature, or you can put it in a deep freezer if one's available. But when I have a cooler, 95% of the time it's going to be sitting in here where it's warm, and I'm going to grab it and fill it and go throw a couple of things of ice in it. Basically what they're saying is because it's warm in the garage, it's going to retain that heat in the insulation. When you drop your bag in, it's going to accelerate. Basically, you're going to be cooling down the cooler with your bag of ice, and that's why it melts. What you can do is just get a bag of ice, throw it in there, shut the top, open it up hour later, it'll be mostly melted, dump it out, but now your cooler is prepped. Okay, that sounds like a lot of work. That sounds like I probably won't do that, okay, because then I have to run to the store beforehand, come back hour. It's just not practical for my usage. Looks like I will not be able to get like a whole week out of a cooler. So basically what they do with these coolers will make them so good. I think inside it's aligned with some type of mesh or something like that. And what they do is they fill the inside with spray insulation, and that's how it holds the heat or cold so well. And they got the gasket. I mean, it's well built, it looks nice, it's heavy, but this thing's like $400. If it did what it said it can do without doing all that prep work, I would keep it. But I'm gonna go see what Cabelas has. I'm pretty sure it's going to be the same concept with spray foam insulation, and it might be not the big brand name, but it's probably like $200 cheaper. I'm gonna go see. If not, I'm gonna end up with another Coleman, and it's been working fine, and wait till these drop in price, because it's ridiculous. What is $400 here? You got a plastic mold, and then they spray it with spray foam, fill it, and they put a gasket on. This thing probably is $40 in material, maybe less, maybe like $20 in material, and then they mark it up. I don't see $400, not at all. So Brittany and I just returned the cooler to Bass Pro, had no trouble. Went up to look at some of their other coolers, and they're all very expensive, and the size they got me was a pretty decent size, but for that much money, it's ridiculous. And when you look in these other ones that are smaller and less money, oh my god, you can't put anything in there. Like I'm saying, I'm looking for a cooler for a week that can hold ice for at least I don't know, 4 days.